Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Logie, and we are here for round 10 in France, and I'm joined by the mythical Shaq Attack 29. It's been a long time, hasn't it, Shaq?
Definitely has. I'm glad to be back, and I'm definitely excited to be watching this race for Slovakia but in France, which I think maybe not in real life, but in the game, it definitely does produce some good racing. So I think it's a good track to come back at.
Yeah, it is, and hopefully the microphone audio is perfect for this race. And now we wait for the drivers to come out, and I think I already see someone maybe putting on the mediums.
Yeah, I think I'm not really sure about the strategy for France, but tire trot will definitely be interesting, especially of course if it's stage dry. Should I tell everyone the weather forecast, or should I leave it?
Yeah, do that.
Well, it's a bit different, the race, because it's going to rain quite heavily towards the end. So that could influence tyre strategy quite a bit.
Wow, I remember that in Portimao, and it was incredibly tricky when it did rain in Portimao, just in mid-gear. It didn't rain fully, but then at the end of the race it went to full inter conditions, so I was just sliding around during that time.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of races over the past few seasons in RPM that have been wet on this track, and they were great races, very tricky conditions for the drivers. So I think this race, drivers will definitely have to be careful, but I think if the rain does come down like we're expecting, it'll definitely be a good race.
I don't really think so. DRS will be disabled, and that really promotes overtaking, so to wait and see. And we might see a few spinners if it does rain as well.
Yeah,
tricky
definitely.
traction zones here.
Definitely, and I think because of the long nature of the corners, grip will just be extremely difficult. And also, track limits will be tough for the drivers to cope with. So I think we could see a few invalidations over the course of qualifying. And hopefully not, but maybe a few penalties come the race.
Yeah, and as we can see, Gobi is actually about to begin his lap. So let's take a look and see how he does on his lap. Obviously, this is the straight, and then heading into turn one, it's tricky left-right, and nails that nicely, and then you don't want to get on that curb too much. And yeah, perfect turn one from Gobi. And now head into, I think it's 3 and 4. And nice and smooth there. Second gear, wanting to get the turn in. And obviously got to shift down again. Just don't want to get on the outside curb, and make sure you don't want to run wide here, because that will lose you a lot of time. And then now onto the straight. DRS enabled. Pretty straightforward here. Straight line, foot flat to the floor. And then into the chicane, a little bit tricky. You want to ride the curbs as much as you can, and going a little bit deep, but then riding the curbs, like I said, nicely in the second part. And yeah, now heading into a high-speed corner, and obviously he goes purple, as he is the first car doing the lap. I believe his teammates behind doing a lap as well, unless he's on the out lap. But ooh, a little bit of a, I think it was the understeer there, heading to the fast right-hander. Now to this tricky left-hander. If you get on the curb, you will definitely spin out. And ooh, touching a little bit, but not spinning out. Now heading to last sector. Make it nice and smooth to finish off the lap. Fourth gear here. And then second gear going a little bit deep and not hitting the apex, and then straight to the line. Want to take the shortest route, obviously. And that's a lap of France, and he sets a 1:31.3. So that's the benchmark for everyone else to beat. I believe somebody else has spun. That is Spiteful, was spun in turn one. So yeah, as I said, very tricky turn one and two. If you get on the curb, you will spin out. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a very clean first lap from where we're setting the benchmark. We do have Mosquito next on the medium.
The medium tyre.
3 cents faster, and Jones splitting them at very, very close to Mosquito, but on the soft. So we could see Mosquito with some pace here.
I get smacked by Krago, but Mosquitoes are still in the meds, but barely down on Krago.
And at this, he goes P4.
I would expect him to go fastest already, but he might be taking it a little bit easy. Want to get a banker lap in.
Yeah, and the lap time could just keep getting faster.
9/10.
Yeah, championship leader is he?
I believe he is. He set that time. He went faster on Monday, I believe. So he has a little bit left in the tank in this session.
Yeah, and Big Puggy also on mediums, not as fast as Mosquito currently, but I'm interested to see what he could do at the end of qualifying because
we all know Big Puggy's sandbagging.
Really big driver.
We all know he's sandbagging.
Well, as always.
Yeah, if he had the option, he'll pick the hards. Do a qualify.
Yeah, I'll just not qualify. Yeah. Snivy comment. Oh, he's invalidated. I think that might be the first. Octavio is the first of the invalidations, and Snivy invalidating as well.
The old man. We forgot about the old man. The old man's on a lap. Spritzy.
Yes,
he's challenging for first in the championship right now. So
decent second time so far.
A little bit tricky on the exit. He told me that he doesn't really like the last corner, and towards the line he sets a 31.1, 1 second off his arrival in P1, and slower than his teammates. So still a lot of pace on hand for Spritzy and Atlas-Ski, obviously.
Yeah, I think this trend will follow down the field. I think lap times will definitely get much more faster as qualifying goes on. These drivers just getting used to the track, and I'm guessing just trying not to invalidate and trying to set a clean bank lapping. Yeah. Westy also on mediums coming to the end of his lap, and it's about a second off last gen so far, but of course on mediums. So let's see what he can do coming towards the final few corners now, and I think he's backed off there.
And just looked at the standings. Actually, Eek is leading the championship, and he's not racing tonight. So if Spritzy wins this race and carry on the trend that he's been doing, he's already won three races in a row, I believe. He will take the lead of the championship for the first time this season, I believe. So yeah, it's all down to Spritzy if he wants to take the lead of the championship this round.
Yeah, it's all to play for. We still have many rounds to go. So. I think just finishing the races and being consistent will definitely help. As we saw Boris.
Ooh, Westy getting out of shape there. Ooh, nearly losing it there. He did set a purple sector 1, but I don't think that was a real purple. But yeah, there's trophies up for grabs for participation, and I know you're not getting any.
No. Oh yeah, Westy is 5 tenths off purple sector 1.
Yeah, so that was a false start.
It's good. Definitely decent on the medium tyres.
Still got to keep an eye on Mosquito.
Yes, he's only 1 tenth off Mosquito's fastest sector 1 time. So I think a decent lap so far. And I think the pace is definitely going to see on the mediums. Obviously, the rain is going to come down, so the mediums might be a good tire to go on for the start.
Yeah, but from my experiences, the rain will be hitting late, as you said, Shaq, correct?
In middle/late, yes.
Middle/late. I personally don't think the mediums will make it, so I think
15 minutes in, actually.
15 minutes in. It's close on the tyre life of the mediums. Maybe even the soft runners can make it to there.
Yeah, we have a spin from Guri in P8 on one of his laps, just coming out of turn 2 there. I think he might have run wide through turn 1. He just had to
so yeah, it's going to be close tyre-wise to when the rain's going to hit. So personally, I think the medium will be the better choice, because if you're able to stick with the soft runners, their tyres will begin to wear out, your tyres will grip in more, and you'll be able to attack them. And then when the rain hits and you're in front of them, track position. Right there. And also Richie's on a lap right now on the medium tyres.
Yeah, on his medium.
Yeah.
2 Ferraris have not even been out yet. Kaz is going to start his lap on the soft tyres, and of course Richie behind him on the mediums. So a split strategy from the Ferraris then.
Hopefully Richie keeps up his good form. I believe he's been in the top 10 since his return back to RPM.
Yeah, that's very good, seeing as he didn't race for, what was it, a few months maybe?
Yeah, he has better consistency than me.
I think Richie is one of the most consistent drivers in RPM.
Yeah, that's how he got third place in season 1, I believe.
Yeah.
And he sets a 31.3, a decent lap time in the mediums, but I'm sure that he might try and go onto the softs, possibly. I think the softs will make it, but it will be very close. It depends on how you're driving, and I think Rauchens will make it. With I think Rauchens, Spritzy, and Aleski will probably make it on the medium, on the soft tires. So strategy is to be very split.
Yeah, and so far, Kaiser's lap time, I think, is good enough for P9.
He's back
off, no, yeah, it's second sector, so I think he has back up there.
Yeah, yes.
Gonna go for another lap. This track is quite fast, but 1 minute 30, so I think you could afford to do a second lap and still have time at the end to do your final.
For the first time, I think Big Puggy's actually pushing on the medium tyres, so good to keep an eye on him. See, check how his second times are.
Well, he's around about P10, P9 right now, so around about where Richie is.
That's about it. Oh, there's Craigo.
130.0.
Yeah, he got his first pole in China. Same round as me, and unfortunately retired, just like me.
Let's hope he can survive to it. Puggy goes right behind Richie in P11. But actually, it's 3/10 a gap, so.
I think Big Puggy actually wants to. I think Big Puggy actually wants to set a lap, maybe get ahead of a few cars, put on the mediums, go to the rain period.
Yeah, we'll see what he does. I think strategy will be interesting, definitely.
Yeah, it will be.
I'm not sure what anyone's planning to do, but.
Yeah, and right now I see Miss Your Old Man on an outlap on the medium tyres, so he's already set a lap on the softs, but he wants to maybe improve on the medium, so to wait and see. So I know Spritzy has pace around here, but how much pace? That's the real question, because I don't know why on Monday he never uses ERS on his qualifying laps, which is strange. Something maybe he's forgetting to, like the old man he is. But let's see how Spritzy does on this lap. Second place in the championship, and could potentially take the lead at the end of this round. So
yeah. I know Grubbin, the only Red Bull tonight is about 3/10 faster on his personal sector 1. So I guess put him in the midfield at the end of the lap if he keeps it clean.
Yeah, well, and Spritzy going a little bit wide there, and I believe he's backed off. Maybe. No, I think he's still pushing.
Oh, off the track there.
Not too sure.
That's not invalidate. He's 3/10 off.
Could improve.
According to the game.
He might have been sandbagging. He could improve, maybe.
Oh, Maverick is out and in the pits.
A Big Puggy's on as well.
So he's going to start all the way down at the back of the grid.
There should be enough time for another lap, but maybe they just don't want to do any more. Yeah, there's 4 minutes left. But take a look at Spritzy's times and he invalidates, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, quite easy to invalidate on the track. Rauchens also going out and out lap, and he can do a few more laps before the time runs out.
Yeah, I think Spritzy might try to go for another lap again. He has recharged his battery, and meanwhile his teammates actually began a lap on the medium. So these two are in a party together. So they'll obviously be sharing their strategic secrets with each other.
Yeah, Atlas he's very, very aggressive on the curbs there, nearly running out wide, but a good turn 1, 2, 3, and 4.
And 5 and 6. Just keep listing them, Shaq. He's nearly equal with his soft tyre time, so he has been hiding a little bit of pace.
And got great traction coming onto the straight, which is one of the most important corners of the track.
Yeah, there he is, and keep an eye on his sector 2 time, who knows.
Yeah, sector 1 time pretty competitive, only 3/10 off Krieger on the soft tyres.
Very nice chicane there that he just took, and I think he will be improving. He's only 1/10 down, but there's a lot of time to gain in the last sector, and I'm sure that he must have at least backed off a little bit in the last sector.
Yeah, very clean lap from him so far.
Well,
Keeping him 5th gear all the way around.
I've never seen that before, 5th gear. It's a little bit unorthodox.
Bit wide there, but getting it around cleanly. And staying with high gears for traction because he's getting no wheel spin out of these corners.
No, he's
and
boxed.
He has to pit. Might go on to the soft for the end. Spritty's also invalidated again, unfortunately.
Spritty might not get enough time. I'm not too sure, but no, I think he will.
2 minutes 30.
I'm not too sure whether he'll do another lap or he'll box.
But I don't think he can box. He is, but
yeah, he's boxing. I think he'll make it. I think he'll make it.
Fine. Quite fine.
It's gonna be very close.
Because he had 1 minute 30 for a fast lap around too.
Yeah, and also Mosquera is actually on a lap. The leading medium runner is actually on a lap on the soft. So let's take a look. He might potentially snatch pole. Very aggressive on the gearing there. Running a little bit too wide. Oh, keeping it in barely. You don't want to run too wide, and just barely keeping it in track limits.
He has got purple sector 1 by 1/1000th of a second, should I say, from Marchand.
Oh, very deep in the last corner. He might get a good run. And then towards the line, he sets... No, he backs off. I think he just wants to do his lap on the medium, and that's it.
Yeah, obviously because the rain's coming down, I think that's just the
It's
time that he
currently
wants to
P4,
fly.
so it's very
He's
safe.
already in the top 10, so he can't change his tyres, of course.
Yeah, Rausch's on the lap as well. And going towards the line, wants to hit the shortest routes, and he sets a barely down on his time, so I think that's it. I don't think he has enough ERS for another run, and neither does Craigo maybe. I'm not too sure. Rausch's might be pushing, so let's go on board with him and see if he potentially is.
Marchand, I think, has backed off. Well, Groby going very wide, I'm just watching him on his lap.
Yeah, he's backed off.
Not many drivers setting faster lap times now.
Yeah, most people are backing off right now, and Richie is on the mediums again, so he wants to try and improve and make his way up further. Make his way up.
Yeah, only 25 seconds remaining, so this will be his last lap. Before he invalidated there.
Let's take turn 1. Ooh, very nice turn 1 there. Yeah, that was a very nice turn 1. Let's see, hopefully he's improving. Because there's a lot of positions to gain. He's only 3 taps off P4. So hopefully he can improve, maybe put it up in the P4 in the mediums. Ooh, barely up on his time.
There.
Come on, Richie. You got this.
I think he had a very clean first part of the lap. Just a bit slower.
Still a lot of time to gain.
Onto the main straight.
Come on, Richie. Ooh, very aggressive. A little bit wide there. He's still getting a decent run.
4,000th up on his lap time, should I say.
It's barely down. Come on, Richie. You just see the gain at least a 10th. He's down in P11. I believe Westy goes up in the P4, but... Come on, Richie. This is the main lap. Yeah, I know he's pushing. I think he is improving.
Yeah, so both the drivers are getting very good traction out of that corner.
Come on, Richie, keep it smooth.
Final corner.
Short shifting. Come on, Richie. Towards the line. And he doesn't improve, unfortunately.
Jones also coming towards the line, and he is up.
A 1/10 and doesn't improve a place. So Jones in P3.
That's it for qualifying then.
And there's massive gaps from P1 and P2 to P3, P4, and then a further gap to P5, all the way down to I believe it's all the way down to P16. So pretty close, but a few cars are edging out.
Yeah, and Richie so far, of course, the bottom 7 drivers can select their tyre choice, but Richie so far is the only driver on the mediums. So I think he might be in the best seat
I think
for
Mosquito.
strategy.
Mosquito.
Is he on the mediums?
Yeah, he's on the mediums. P5.
Everyone on the mediums, basically, in the top 10, will
They'll be going to the rain. I'm sure of it.
definitely.
But yeah, that's qualifying. And Craigo claims his second pole position this season, right ahead of Rauchenza, RPM Jones in P3, Westy in P4, Mosqueta P5 on the medium tyre, so we have a lot to see from him. Atlaski in P6, and his teammate behind him P7, Sinful P8, good qualifying from him. Octavia P9, Go P10, Richie starting P11, and I'm sure he'll be on the medium tyre. The Maverick P12, Spifey P13, Kaz P14, Okalap P15, Big Poggy I am sure will be taking the hards obviously for obvious reasons, and Smythe will just round out the grid in P17. So Shaq, what do you expect?
Well, I expect the medium runners probably, of course, not to be faster off the start, but towards the middle of the race, once the rain starts coming down, I think they'll definitely be in the box seat for the best strategy. We have very fast drivers here. Jones having a good quality. Excited to see his race, how it pans out. Spitz as well, and I think Richie. I think if he can keep it consistent on his medium stint, he'll have a really, really good chance of getting up there on the intermediate or wet tyres.
Yeah, and Bakker, just to inform you, there is no such thing as a wet setup. It's the same track, so a dry setup is just the same thing as a wet setup, but just more wings, by the way. That's it.
Yeah, also, it says 30 minutes into the race there'll be a storm. Not light rain, but storm. So we could see wet with tyres, which would definitely be interesting. Maybe see a few safety cars to spice up the strategy.
Now we just wait for the drivers to put the tyres on.
It looks very cloudy as well, so grip will definitely be much different than qualifying, of course.
Should be better. I think the drivers, much cooler conditions.
Yeah, I think the drivers will have to be really careful in lap 1. I feel like the grip would be much, much different than qualifying.
Alright, let's take a look at the tyres and see. And everyone from Richie except Kaz to P17s on the mediums, and Mosquito obviously on the mediums as well, as he qualified on them in the top 10. But Kaz, very interesting, going on the soft tyres, maybe trying to get a good start and challenge the soft runners ahead, possibly, and yeah.
That is very interesting from Kaz, yeah. But I feel like he had more pace in him in qualifying. Definitely, he backed off on a few occasions, and he was up on his lap times. I feel like here he has much more pace to bring. Oh yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, so the predicted pit stop strategy is one stop for the medium runners, mediums to hards, but I'm sure it will be mediums to inters, as it will rain later in the session, and. For the soft runners, it's going to be a straightforward one stopper as well, soft to hards, but some might even try soft to mediums maybe, but that's a little bit risky, but it will rain later on, so might want to try fit the mediums just if they have to pit and it takes long to rain. So yeah, and there's already a large gap. Why are there always large gaps?
Yeah, to Alice. Not even Atlas, this Spritzy, a very, very big gap there.
Yeah, but then Spritzy, it's not even Spritzy. Well. Spritzy's trying to catch up. It's just the guys behind. Spritzy lost the gap. Spritzy made the gap in the first place, but now it's trying to close it in, and then there's another gap made. This might need to be addressed because it's very, very annoying, especially when you're at the front and it takes like at least a minute for everyone else to line up, and then you just lose the feeling for the track you've had. The feeling for the track you've had. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the top 6 will definitely have very, very cold tyres.
No, the tyres will freeze. It's just generally annoying. The tyres will stay the same temperature when you are locked in the your grid slot, but it's just very annoying because you have to wait so long.
Bit of a break to get a drink then.
I could have got up and gotten a drink at this rate.
Well, all the drivers now.
But yeah, Bakker, I know you're listening. You need to address that formation laps, please. Very long and very boring. for the drivers there at the front. Now, let's wait for the lights to go out.
Yeah, be an interesting race, definitely.
Oh, here we go. And 1, 2, 3. I have a bad angle. 5, 4, 5 red lights. And okay, let's go. And Craig gets a good start along with Rauchens and heading into turn 1. Craig slots up ahead a little bit and yeah, maintains P1, and that's Wesley up into P3 and is challenging at the ski, and that's a yellow flag. Who's spun round? Is that a Haskar of Smythe? Yeah, I believe it is, and lots of position movement. Come on, Shaq, help me out here.
Yeah, Smythe with wing damage. Wesley nearly got up the inside of Rauchens, but a very good start from the top two. Mosquito under pressure from Spritzy. He's got a decent start as well, but Mosquito doing really well not to lose too many positions on the medium tyres.
Yeah, looking at position change, and Wesley's actually jumped at the ski, and at the ski actually was able to jump Jones and Mosquito, who have lost places, and obviously Mosquito has, as he's on the mediums. So focusing back on the front, and Big Poggy making a few moves up at the P14 now, and we'll be chasing after Richie, who's dropped a two positions as well. And
yeah, Octavio also pressuring Sinful there, and Wesley got a great start. I was watching from behind. Rauchens really pressuring Gregor as well in his Aston Martin, right up behind the Williams driver, but getting a bit of oversteer there.
Yeah, I'm sure when DRS is enabled, Rauchens will be right behind Gregor and will obviously want to make the move. But how far out is the range, Shaq? You're the weatherman here.
Well, the rain it says is about 15 minutes out. 15
minutes. I'm sure the drivers will be constantly asking Jeff whether it's gonna come down early or not, but Jeff is really unreliable. He goes 15, 5 minutes, back to 15 again, then 10. That's Jeff for you.
Jeff really isn't the person to ask.
And then that's Richie. Oh, Richie's got damage, I believe.
It doesn't say he has damage.
Yeah, he does. Sure. He got damage.
He does, yeah.
Goes straight to the soft, so
interesting. Yeah. Maybe Jeff is saying something else. Maybe Jeff is saying 5 minutes until rain or something, who knows.
Yeah, not too sure. I wouldn't be surprised if someone tried to put in the inters now.
Yeah, Puggy also getting a bit racy, got ahead of Kaiser and Richie, and he's made up 3 positions.
Yeah, that's just Big Puggy, isn't it? That's what he does, just makes up so many positions on lap 1. I don't think he's made as many positions as I have, from last place in Portimao all the way up to P5 in 3 corners, so yeah. Wow. That should be an RPM record. There needs to be an actual record book of records that have been broken. And speaking of records, Colin has the unofficial world record around here, so very interesting, to say the least, in high gear.
I never knew that.
Yeah, posted it in the Ferrari chat, so he has the unofficial world record around here.
That's amazing.
Yeah, everyone ahead of him is cheaters, so that's something.
That is incredible.
Yeah, I know it is.
I guess that would really be inspiring Richie and Kaz then, and Kaz right behind Spivey trying to get the move on.
Yeah, and what happened to Richie, Luke? I believe he got damage on lap 1. There's a little bit of a contact into turn 1, and he's at the back on the soft tyres now, and we'll be trying to pump the laps in to catch up, possibly. And now DRS is enabled, and Rauchens on the edge of DRS, so yeah.
Gregor's been putting a bit of a gap to Rauchens, and if Rauchens doesn't get into DRS, he will really be under a bit of pressure from the Alpha behind.
Yeah, I think he just got dropped. He's very close. It's very close right now, and we might get confirmation here. And no, he barely's in. He's barely in.
Yeah, LSG right behind Wesley, and Wesley got a bad exit, and LSG slides past the Alfa Romeo on the back straight.
Yeah, both of them equal ERS, so I don't think Wesley will be trying to challenge that, and ski into P3 very easily, but he is out of the ERS range of Rauchens, so let's see if he has good pace or not.
The Mercedes is fighting. It looks like a Sinful, sorry, going very wide there. Uglap got ahead of both Mercedes on one straight. Big Puggy also going to make up the position as well, and the Mercedes, I think they were fighting a bit, and have dropped a few positions in the space of a corner and one straight.
Alright, well, As soon as you're done with that, Mosqueta is looking to pressurise Jones already, 4 attempts behind. And Spritzy, who's been left behind by his teammates, still down in P7 where he started. So Spritzy obviously would want to pick up the pace as he's actually fighting his teammate for a championship position as well. And looks like going a little bit wide and looking like he was about to pit. But any updates on the rain, Shaq?
No updates. It's always going to be the same. I think Mosqueta, I think really doing well on his medium tyres right now. And Jones,
oh, there he goes.
For the McLaren driver out of turn 2.
Luckily, there's a lot of runoff. No damage there.
That was one of the pressing questions, actually. I think the runoff really helping.
Yeah, I hope you don't do that, Jack, tomorrow. I hope I don't do that either. I've been sweating GT7 and it's very different to this game, so traction is very tricky and that's which you're going fastest on the soft tyres. And as he's been dropped out of the DRS off the front too, so he would, I believe, want to possibly catch up. And that's Craigo, going on board with Craigo. He's draining. Oh, the barrick's gone. Oh, is that safety car? And it is. Oh, this is going to ruin the race of a future. This is going to be very tricky because if the safety car is out for long, like 5 minutes, and the rain is happening in 5 minutes, that might be an issue. So, yeah. Be very tricky.
I think this could benefit the soft runners a bit. Maybe not the medium runners.
This is what happened in Portimao.
If they don't pit.
This is what happened in Portimao, but it was actually already raining in Portimao. But oh, we just started. Yeah,
it has. That's very early. That's much earlier than the test.
Oh, Craigo. I think Craigo's doing it. I think Craigo and Rauchens and Atlas Ski, everyone might be trying to gamble. Everyone looks to be gambling, except Goey. No, Goey's gambling. Octavio's gambling, I think. Oh, Joe Jones is gambling. Urglov's gambling. Civil is in. Everyone is boxing. Kaz is back gambling. Spivey's not. Big Puggy is. I think Richie might Spivey, right? Everyone's in the box and everyone's going to the inters, I believe. Route is on the softs. Oh no, I think that might be a miss input. Craigo on the mediums. What's going on? I don't know what's going on, but this is very different. This is two different strategies.
Different strategies. Yeah, everyone else on intermediates hoping that the rain will.
Oh, it's hitting already hard. It's already hitting hard. Look at it. The track's looking like it's already going to get wet. And I think
Jones and Urglov both on the dry tyres. Big Puggy is on.
Richie box for the inters. Come on, Richie, box for the inters. You know it's the right choice. And yeah, he's boxed to the inters.
You know what? I don't understand why Jones has gone for the hards because it's raining. He's just going to have the biggest lack of grip on the track.
Yeah, but you can already see the rain is coming down fast. But it might be Portimao rain where it doesn't actually get wet enough, but safety car will have to be in as soon as possible for the dry runners. This is giving me horrible flashbacks. This is giving me horrible flashbacks of last year's France.
Smivey also doing his penalty, so getting that out of the way on the safety car. Puggy still has a penalty. He has a 3-second penalty, which definitely won't help him.
So,
yeah, very interesting. The rain, I think the rain will definitely come down heavier.
Yeah, actually, I'm not too sure, but the track doesn't look wet.
It doesn't, definitely not.
But it doesn't, I think it's more dry to wet than anything else, so this could be a blessing for the dry runners. They could gap out maybe a few seconds, maybe even a pit stop gap if it remains dry for at least another 3 laps after safety car. But I highly doubt that, but not too sure, man. Not too sure.
Yeah, and the dry runners, they're going so slow, they're just not going to be able to get temperature in the tyres if the
but the inters will be overheating. I'm sure of it. Anyone boxing? Spivey. Both Williams are boxing. There was no point. A little bit of a point, but double stacking ain't that good.
Bro, they're going on to intermediate. I think Baka made a good point. He said that the drivers
big party boxing, yeah. Yeah, I think we're thinking it. Yeah, Jones boxing as well.
Yeah. Just didn't select their tyres in.
Frauchens has committed, Sinful's committed. Sinful has nothing to lose at this rate.
Interesting. Yeah, going on to intermediates there for Krieger. and Spivey, and Richie, and Kaz, who hasn't pitted. And Jones also in the pit, but Big Puggy in the pit, all for first intermediate.
Shaq, this is looking very good for Ferrari right now. P10 and 11,
Definitely,
and 3 cars ahead that will most likely have to box because it is gonna, yeah, there's water droplets on the track, so looking like it's gonna actually become full intermediate conditions. So, well, I think that's a strategic blunder from Rauchens, but he's committing and he's doing what me and you did in France last season, and trying to stick it out, see if it's not going to get wet enough, but I don't think it's working.
Colin said that if the rain stays like this, then intermediates are the only choice, and I think it's just going to create damp spots on the track. I think it's already doing now, and I think now the dry tyres will start to struggle a bit.
Oh, yeah, for God's sake. Rauchens. Yeah, that's the clear sign. It is Inters.
He didn't even put that much throttle on. It was just lack of grip, really.
It's straight intermediate weather now. I'm sure he will box.
I don't
know. They might try to stick out. I'm not too sure.
They can't unless the weather's gonna dry up soon, really soon. They just can't afford to stay out.
Well, Richie and Kaz are going to be gaining quite a few places because of this. So they should be gaining 3. Oh yeah, look at Sinful's POV. It's just wet.
Yeah, definitely. The Inter is definitely the way to go.
I think Sinful should just bolt. I think Sinful should just back up the pack and then bolt as soon as he can, and then go straight into the pits. He doesn't want to wait. Make sure you hold it up. Straight into the pits. Yep, straight into the pits.
That's fine. So
and Aleski will be leading.
Yeah.
Round is still sticking. Oh no, he's going to the pits. Yeah, everyone's into the pits for Inters. And now
Westy,
back to the race.
Westy lost a bit. Mosquito lost a bit as well. Westy almost went into the back of Aleski there.
And he's very close to him right now.
Yeah, it's like side by side between Jones and Puggy. Jones might just have to stick this one behind, and he does so. Into turn 1. Not too many mistakes from the guys. Spicy going a bit wide, but other than that, I think they've all kept it pretty clean, and Westy right at the back of Aleski. Yellow flags, I think, yeah, it's going to go. Aleski seems to be really struggling
on the hearts. Oh, he's in the wall, and he's gone. Oh my days.
Maybe that's going to be another safety car.
I'm not too sure.
Did he need to go on the hard?
I don't know, but he went onto the hards, and that is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It's unfortunate, but funny at the same time. But meanwhile, Richie's gained a lot of positions now. He's up in the P7 and is now chasing after Octavio.
Well, it's looking pretty racy, especially Richie, and yeah, chasing after Octavio, who's lost a bit to Goey actually as well. Oh, and look how close the top 3 are.
Shaq, could you check if it might be full wet conditions soon? It's getting very wet.
My task will not say anything.
I'll boot up mine. Take a look.
No. It's just wrong. Just like Jeff. It does what Jeff does. It says it's going to be a storm soon.
Yeah, it's full. That's full wets.
That's what I'm saying.
That's full wets.
Interesting.
If it's light rain, if it says storm, that's more than heavy rain. So it's going to be very, very tricky.
Also, the bottom drivers are our leaders at the start, and they've gone all the way down to the back after not pitting. The top 3 is really close.
Yeah, they are pretty close, and I'm sure they want to extend the gap to Spritz, who's up in the P4 now. And checking out my task, let's see if it actually says it's going to be a storm. And yeah, that's full wet conditions right there.
Yeah. So Westy was literally pushing Aleski along turn 5 and 6.
That's what Colin did yesterday. Back on, I know you remember that, and I know Colin, you remember that as well. You two would bump off each other down the straight. And yeah, in the next 15 minutes, it might turn into full wet conditions. So there's still a gamble to be made.
Yeah, if the storm, like if the rain increases over a long period of time, then the strategy will be played wide open. But if it comes down straight away, then of course they'll just all pay at the same time for West.
Oh, Westy getting very, very close, and there's nearly a bump drafting at the ski for that section, and looking very, very quick.
I think Mosquito's in a good position because if these two ahead start fighting, and
he can save his ERS, but there's not really a point in saving the ERS because it's very easy to recharge when it's wet. Because you rarely use it, and Atlas keeps going wide there, and that will allow Westy to get a good run, and with ERS assistance, heading into turn 1, going side by side, who will come out on top, and I believe it will be Westy going round the outside, and yeah, taking a position, and will slow himself up in the P1, and that's Mosquito now challenging Atlas for P2, and looking like everything's now gone back to the way it was before, but now Westy in the lead of this race, and I'm sure he will want to begin to gap Atlas. Possibly. He has a lot of pace in the wets right now. So, yeah.
Messi has a lot of pace. I think he's probably the fastest driver on
yeah,
this
you see that he goes
set.
wide, you jinx him a little bit, and loses a little bit of time.
Well, he did set one of the fastest laps, I think the second fastest lap, third fastest lap, should I say, last time around. Spivey, unfortunately, with a penalty for track limits. I think it was a Mosquito as well. Or Mosquito, should I say.
That doesn't make sense. How is Westy's tyre? Look at Westy's tyres.
What are they on?
It doesn't make sense.
35%.
Yeah, but look at the others. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I know. It's... Well, he's showing pace, so hopefully
I think he might be burning. I don't know what's going on, but his tyres are burning up a lot.
He shouldn't have 10%, 15-20% more tyre wear than everyone else. So I think he's showing pace. So,
could be a glitch on Tars's end.
Yeah, it's that high.
It's very, very strange.
To be fair, Spirity's gap isn't increasing too much to the cars ahead. It's still staying within 2-3 seconds of them.
Yeah, but he is actually losing time. Because the last time I checked, he was 1.7 behind.
He's losing. The guys ahead are sticking to each other and they're going very, very fast.
Yeah, and
Bobby goes a bit wide. And Richie is now pretty close, only 5/10 the gap. Kaz also got a penalty, and Jones goes very wide there, I think, fighting with Huggy.
Yeah, second time he's taken the runoff, I believe.
Lost a bunch of time there, not under pressure from Spivey behind.
And looking at Richie, Richie doing well on the yellow flag. Who's that? Oh, that's Mosquito. He spun.
After getting a penalty, spun a lap later and has to wait for the
that's
whole
him down
grid.
to the back now, so that's very unfortunate. Not too sure whether there was contact possibly, but taking a look. No contact. I think he just lost it himself on the exit of that corner. Tricky traction zone there. And I was about to talk about Richie, and look, he's up in a P5 and is challenging for P4 now. Might even challenge for P3. He's got a lot of pace in the wet conditions.
He does have. I think his consistency is definitely helping him here. Richie was up into the podium, 3 seconds behind the top two, but still in P3. And his teammate Atlas Ski doing everything he can to stay with Westy, but Westy is slowly pulling out a gap here. Over 1 second now, but it was now, it's 8/10.
Yeah, and taking a look on board, it seems the rain has stabilised, but I'm sure probably in the next, I don't know, next few laps it could go to full wet conditions, but Alex Ski constantly gets a bad run out the last corner, so he's losing a lot of time every single time, so I think he's struggling to keep up with Westy in the last sector.
Yeah, I think the only good thing, a good thing for Atlas Ski is that Westy is burning out his tyres a bit. And that could help the Alpine driver when Westy's tyres start to deteriorate a bit faster. TAS still says 50%, but that's incorrect.
Wait, his tyres on 50%?
That's what he says on TAS, but he still has pace. But you could see out of every corner he's getting that bit of sliding and a bit of oversteer. and that's just going to burn out tires a bit more. So towards the end of their stint, I think Alistair will be a bit faster.
I'm confused on what happened to the intermediate tires around this track. Because
but everyone else is on 25%. It's only Wesley's tires who are on 50% and Smiley's as well.
I don't know whether they updated the game or something, but the Inters used to last the entire race around France. But I don't know whether could be overheating, but he's not struggling for front end grip.
Yeah, he's not. That's what I'm saying. He's still got a lot of pace in him. Richie is now 2 turns behind Goey, and only like a second off Richie as well.
Yeah, Craigo, who made a strategic blunder, is up in the P6 now, and he will have good pace as well. And Richie, very close to the back with Goey, and as Spritzy said, he's not very good in the last corner, so we could see a mistake from him. But is this ERS stuck open?
ERS?
ERS, look at
yes,
ERS. I believe it's stuck on, but now you just turned it off. That's very strange.
Kaz with another penalty there, so 4, 5 tries with the penalties. Smiley with another penalty as well. 6 penalties now. I think in the wet, penalties will be coming quite fast. Dartchen's getting past the Mosquito as well.
It's getting very, very wet. Look at Richie's halo, it's just completely covered in water.
Yeah, I think as long as the rain stays like this,
I think the storm hit.
Yeah.
I think it just hit.
The track is completely soaked now, so it'll just get even less grippy as the time goes on.
Yeah, full wets might be a good shout. But I think the storm just hit. Could you check how long the race has been going on for? Because it did say plus 30 minutes it would hit, so if it is past 30 minutes it might be